problems they're facing is that they always want to do new powers.
All right, we are live. Okay.
Yeah, be careful what you say. We're live, man. But
according to Clown Piece, Borderlands 4 will add 4 brand new Vault Hunters, and the devs want classes to add depth to the RPG. This is from Games Radar. So according to Games Radar, they'll have 4 brand new Vault Hunters, which is what I wanted. I wanted new Vault Hunters. I don't want this, build your own character business. I like to have someone that I can actually invest myself in, because the fun part about Borderlands 1 was, playing Brick, and then 2, I really had a fun time with Salvador, but in 3, I fell in love with Mose. And you enjoyed Flak the same way. So the fact that we get actual Vault Hunters and not make your own character, that's what I want. So that's fantastic. Hopefully they'll have the same character concepts where each one has their own unique personality and their own dialogue that's actually get you invested in a certain character.
I mean, the class system is from Wonderlands, so if they introduced that, I'm fine, because Wonderlands had some of the most build complexity, because there was 2 class trees a class, and then there was 4 classes, and they added more classes, which diversified the game a lot.
I'd prefer to build my own Vault Hunter, honestly.
That's what you did in Wonderlands. You had classes, and then you used that to build your Vault Hunter. So that's what I'm saying. I would not mind building my own Vault Hunter. Even if it was just...
I disagree, but...
I like choice.
Now, I'll admit the hardest thing to implement would be a Siren. Because the Siren's going to fall down a certain thing, and Sirens are always female. And, they would have to probably gender lock. You know what I'm saying? I'm fine with that, too. Gender lock it. But a Siren with another set of abilities, like one of your classes could be Siren. Or just make Siren its own thing. Just actually say, if you're playing a Siren, this is your stuff. And you could give you 4 skill trees. If they're doing it to a class, they could give you 4 Siren skill trees. And just say, Siren's a singular class.
Also not against not allowing the Siren until, have the Siren be an NPC until you beat the game. And then once you beat the game, New Game Plus, you can play as a Siren elite class.
Or honestly, just have the Siren be an NPC. Because you want to be honest, how powerful... No, you played Borderlands 3. How powerful Sirens are at this point, you really shouldn't be playing.
But think how cool it would be, though, if you were able to play through the game.
And you get this superpower class.
You beat the game, and then you can play as a Siren after that.
Oh, my God. Imagine if you got all 4 Siren skill trees for each Siren. Now, that would be crazy. You could play an Uber Siren.
I mean, replayability.
You got a Lilith tree. You got a Maya tree. You've got a, because I refuse to call it an Ava tree. You get a Tanith tree, and you get a Mara tree. Mm-hmm. That would be cool.
Yeah.
That's literally 4 trees if they do the 2 trees a class.
I miss the whole beat a game, unlock a secret character stuff. I
know.
They don't do that much anymore.
Or even Iridian. Ooh, an Iridian. Yeah. Unlock an Iridian. Have Guardian-like abilities. Imagine if you had the ability where when you go down, you get up with a different health bar like the Guardians do, Bloodaxe, in the takedown. You jump back up. God forbid if you got Guardian synergy. Oh, did one of the other players that played a Guardian die, you get a buff? Because when the Guardians die, their soul comes out and it goes another Guardian. That would be awesome. I would love to just be able to combine Krieg and Brick's melee tree to make Uber melee character.
All right.
Melee monster.
Well, let's get started, guys.
We are started.
We basically are, which is why I want to go ahead and get...
I'm glad we're getting along now because we're going to be fighting later.
Yeah, well, yeah. Welcome to Dicejunkies. I'm Xenodamus. I'm here with
Q.
And on Skype.
Yeah, Bloodaxe.
All right, let's get started. I guess since we've been talking about it for the last for the last 5 minutes before the show, let's start with Borderlands, man. Coming out of PAX, gotta say, wasn't a lot of new stuff coming out of PAX with Gamescom just happening. Yeah. I mean, not a lot of. There was more panels with dev teams, which you can squeeze some information out of, but not a lot.
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking. I heard nothing about PAX except for, and even then, this wasn't out of Borderlands 4's panel. This really was later. They started talking about it.
I think this may have came out of there.
Well, like
I said, it's a lot of scraping though. A lot of scraping. So first of all, I mean, we got Borderlands 4 concept art, and new details revealed through packs. And
It looks like Borderlands.
Yeah, and Borderlands 4 will add 4 new Vault Hunters. Now, are they adding just 4 new Vault Hunters? Or are they going to add? Are there going to be some old ones in there as well with just 4 new ones?
Now there is something interesting I want to say here, Bloodaxe. This is a theory. Pop back up. Put the Psycho Mask back on the screen. Yeah, I always had a theory about that, and this is also, and it relates to Krieg. You notice how the Outlaw Mask, the eyes aren't lit up. You know, normally they're glowing blue.
They're blue.
I've always had a theory that that's the Psycho's eyes that are doing that, because you almost never see a Psycho's eyes. And I reinforced that theory, that the reason I also reinforced that theory is that because remember, it's a chemical that if you play Kriegs, you know that it's something causing them to be psycho. I've always had that theory too, because Krieg covers one of his eyes. And Krieg, in most of his mask, he covers one of his eyes, and he's half psycho. You know, he's like got 2 minds. I've always felt that if it wasn't for the cosmetics, obviously don't care. So I don't consider that to debunk it, because those aren't legit. You know, you can put on Handsome Jack's face. But I've always felt that if you properly saw Krieg's other eye, it would be a glowing psycho eye. Like it actually would be lit up. So the fact that the mask itself isn't glowing in this shot just reinforced my idea that psychos have glowing eyes to represent that they've been altered, and it's a mutation from the chemical. And Krieg has one glowing eye, but he covers it because he doesn't like to show it, because he's afraid it'll freak people out. So that's why you always see Krieg's normal cosmetics have one eye covered, because, you know, he's got the one sane eye, and I think he's got the one psycho eye. That's just a little thing I want to pop out when I saw that, and the mask was not glowing independently. I said, I really believe that it's actually the psychos that you know, that their eyes are glowing through the lenses. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I get that, but if you think back to Borderlands 2, when Tiny Tina had the psycho mask inside of her head, the eyes were still blue.
They were?
Yeah.
Because I always start to wonder why Krieg covered one of his eyes, because if you do go by the cosmetics, we know he has both of his eyes. So I always wondered if there was a canon cosmetic, like if he ever removed his mask, would one eye be glowing and one eye not? That's always been.
We know that the psychos were created through experimentation, and so that does make sense of whatever chemicals or things that they put them through could have chemically altered their sight, and that makes sense. But I don't know. That's an interesting theory. I guess we'll find out, because with the trailer, the eyes were dark, so they didn't have any blue light in the in Borderlands 4 teaser trailer.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that would make sense, but that doesn't make sense why Tina has hers on her mask with blue eyes. But then again, you know, they can be changed in lore as things go through. So
yeah, that box art, they have them lit up, but that's also like just a mocked up box art. That may not even be the box art for Borderlands 4, but in the other one, they still had it dark. And I've always wondered, what does a psycho look like when you take the mask off? And like I said, the extra cosmetics you get aren't a good example, because we know they go all over the place. They put whole different heads and faces on characters, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the main thing is that it mentioned the potential of doing 4 new Vault Hunters, but offering classes, which is the debate that if you heard any of our pre-show dialogue, that got me excited, because one of the things I liked about Wonderlands was the classes.
Yeah, I will say from reading the article, I mean, it really sounds like they're pushing more of the same. I mean, they even talk about, we think this has always been important. You know, we're going to continue to do this, da-da-da. So, they're like, we're going to add some stuff, but it's mostly, the same. I mean, you normally get new Vault Hunters. You normally get, there's not really... Doesn't really seem to be like they're trying to really push the envelope with this.
Oh, you're going into theory, yeah, because Xeno has pointed out that supposedly this is coming out next year, and they're not showing a lot.
Yeah, I mean, here we're a year out. I mean, even if they push it out to December, that's only a year and 3 months, you know.
And usually you're on betas by a year out.
And all we got was some concept art.
Not a single. They don't even know what they're going to do with the Vault Hunters fully. They don't even have they haven't mentioned what planets, how many planets.
They mentioned, oh look, we're gonna have more tech this time. We're gonna utilize the fact that this is a sci-fi apocalypse and add a little more color and vibrancy into the world.
It looks like Borderlands 4.
You know, I mean,
concept art wise, none of this looks like. Oh, I'm like, yeah, that was Electricity, and there's a inside area. We've seen this as far back as Borderlands 2. But like the main thing about Xeno's theory that it brought up is it made me wonder if because I told him, I said they can get this out by next year if they do what they did on Wonderlands and it's just Borderlands 3.75 since Wonderlands is 3.5. But since you're mentioning classes, it looks like if they don't change the engine and it is EA, then because I mean
now
Bloodaxe, when you tried the next Star Wars Survivor, it was just the same game almost. I watched the gameplay. It does not look like they changed that engine in any significant way, except now you had a blaster.
Well, I mean, it was cleaner. It wasn't nearly as quirky or jerky whenever you're doing your platforming and stuff. It was a lot more smooth. So whether they refined it or upgraded the engine, I don't know. But it wasn't nearly as frustrating as as Fallen Order.
But, I mean, it didn't play different like it was a whole new engine, though, right? It was very familiar, I'd imagine.
Yeah. No, it wasn't the difference between Gears 3 and Gears 4 as far as the play style. No, it was pretty much the same old, same old.
Yeah. Now here's my thing, and I mean I may get some feedback on this, but I don't think it really needs it. I don't think it necessarily needs a new engine, dude. I mean, how much further can we go with shading like that? I mean,
yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. I like
the game can't look much better without drastically changing the art style.
I agree that there's no way to reinvent the wheel. So no, I'm for that. The one thing about Wonderlands I liked, other than I liked playing classes, getting my classes, even though they kept screwing with it. I hope they get more hands off about it. Was that it played as smoothly as Borderlands 3 did, and honestly. Sometimes, man, it's just like with Call of Duty. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Call of Duty games don't go through a major tech update.
They fix cross-play, and we're good to go, man.
Yeah, now that would be amazing.
Give me day one cross-platform, and I will. If you could promise me that without a shadow of a doubt, say, we have day one cross-platform, it's going to work perfectly, you might even convince me to pre-order.
Dude,
But it would be a money-back guarantee.
That would require a beta, and they've never released a beta of Borderlands that I know of. They keep it in-house, and then they give you a hot mess.
That's what I'm saying. It'd have to be a money-back guarantee that cross-platform is going to work.
Ubisoft does more betas, and that's bad, because, Ubisoft...
Oh, you want to jump to that?
We're on video games, man. We're on video games.
Let's see. So rumor. So guy says he is.
Oh no! I thought you were jumping to the how bad Ubisoft games play.
Which one are
that would be the Outlaw.
This one?
Yeah. I'm talking about about beta testing your game.
True. Yeah. So
which they did beta test. That was the point.
Yeah, they did. And
for $100 a pop, you get the beta test our game.
That does burn, dude. Star Wars Outlaw players forced to delete save data on PS5.
No, people who's paid the big $100 plus for the pre-order so they can get early access have to do that.
So players who bought the deluxe edition that was like $100 on PS5 to play the game early. Got to play the game early.
Up until the day of release. When
a patch came out that did not work with their current saves.
For PlayStation.
For
PlayStation players.
Yes, PlayStation. Specifically PlayStation.
So players. You paid a bunch of money to be a beta tester. You paid money. You didn't get paid. You didn't get a free copy. You paid to be a beta tester. There are some people that reported losing 20 hours of progress. you do know that's like a week worth of gameplay.
Well, I mean,
in the evening
what, 4
after
days
work.
early, right?
Yeah, that's like
So, I mean, technically,
5 hours a day.
I know gamers who binge when a new game comes out and will not sleep.
Oh, no, there's people that got way more than 20
Yeah.
hours. And there's people that beat that game almost. They were at the last boss and then,
So-
like, had to...
So yeah, I'm not surprised people lost some or would be pissed. Probably if you probably just didn't update. I would assume you just refused the update. Can you do that?
No, the problem is that if you do not do the update, you will reach what they call progress stopping blockers.
Oh,
so you will get shut down.
No.
You have to do
Oh.
it. Yeah.
Oh.
So you're going to have your game stop being
that's
playable
that
until you
is
update.
rough.
So hey, you never give Ubisoft extra money.
Yeah, previous version included a game-breaking
It's
bug.
okay though.
Oh.
To apologize, they gave you a trinket to hang off your blaster, and Ubi bucks, not real Ubi bucks. You can't use them to get anything real, like Ubi credits to go get like a blue jacket. No, they didn't give you anything to help you get your progress back. Some people pointed out, why didn't you get a booster or maybe a mid-tier gun so you could get back to mid-game? Like if they said, all right, we're going to give you a blaster upgrade so you can have your mid-tier blaster. Now, I know why they didn't. Because the other thing we saw that we didn't pull up a thing about is that game's dumb easy. Don't watch Asma go play this game. This game is so easy, even Bloodaxe would be disappointed. That's how you...
We'll see. Yeah, that does tend to be the trend, though.
With Ubisoft?
Well, not just with Ubisoft. I actually saw an article recently about the new upcoming Indiana Jones game. Apparently, they don't want you to have to go to YouTube to find out the puzzles. So what they've done is they put in an automatic hint system where if you can't get it for a while, it just starts giving you extra hints until you can solve the puzzle.
A Indiana Jones game.
Yes.
Which is essentially a Tomb Raider
Yes.
puzzle game.
Yeah.
I mean, the OG
let me-
live-action movie of puzzle solving has super easy puzzles. Well, you're not playing Indiana Jones because you expect to have the best action. You don't expect to be bouncing off of walls, pulling off, Darksiders whip combos.
Yeah. So yeah, here in Indiana Jones, the Great Saga of the Puzzles will be
Well,
challenging,
I don't wanna
but
play
not
this
to the
crap.
point where you have to go to YouTube to watch the walkthroughs. Basically, what they say is the game also focuses. Let's see, the hero. Let's see, where is it? But what if you do get stuck? There's no need to run the YouTube anymore. Just take a picture of the puzzle, and Indiana will help you by giving you a hint.
That's kind of messed up.
And for the $100 version, you can put the controller down and Indiana will just play the game.
I mean, dude.
But you're going to lose your progress.
So I mean, it's not just Star Wars Outlaws that's going uber easy on things.
We
man.
need to point this out. I know we didn't plan to go this long.
It's
but
the participation
what
trophy.
happened when Elden Ring came out? All these companies were whining about how popular Elden Ring was
You mean a difficult game?
because everybody was liking this hard game. And Ubisoft's answer is, let's make it. Jeez, God, you doing a commercial, man? I just looked over. I just saw just a full on can face.
Sponsor us.
You forgot to do the.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. Accidental commercial, but we're not sponsored by anybody. Not even Dicejunkies.
Yeah, we don't
Sponsor
sponsor
ourselves. But like, the answer to this is to make games. Do you know how hard it is to find everything in Black Myth Wukong? The greatest selling game of its time right now, despite. Oh, that's a great segue. Despite underhanded dealings.
Dude, it's not just that. All right, you realize people looking up how to do things
It's part of the gameplay for some people.
it's not just that, dude. Streamers and stuff like that, and they make money off the stuff. Now, if I know that your game isn't going to get me, is designed, then I'm not going to advertise your game by streaming about how I play it. It's also bad in advertising, dude. I mean, YouTube is the best advertisement for video games out there. More people have played video games because they saw somebody on YouTube or Twitch playing the game or saw some video pop up. And a lot of people gauge games by that. How many people are online playing this game and streaming this game? Oh, man, I probably need to get that.
Do you know also that difficult to solve puzzles and find secrets is very satisfying? Mm-hmm. When I played Shadow of the Erdtree, I actually went through Shadow of the Erdtree first time blind. I was quite satisfied that I missed all but like one or two places.
Yeah. I try to go through any game I played blind at first.
Oh, no, your way. He's our purist. He's the most purist. Unfortunately, the one thing about Souls-likes that annoys me is sometimes they don't let you backtrack for something. That's why I'll eventually break and look it up. And I will say, if there's one thing about Black Myth Wukong that will infuriate you, is they do that way too often. They do a lot of, did you take 2 steps that way? Beep. That's their answer to finding this. And playing through the game all over again is a bit of a lengthy process. It ain't quite as easy to go back. Because it is linear, it is an Elden Ring. See, Elden Ring, at least if I go to a new game, I can go straight to get the thing I missed. Can't do that. That is a downside to that game because I don't think you should do a lot of missable. You got it only one shot on a playthrough that's really easy to miss if you're also linear. That is the only real mistake, well, other than, we'll just roll into it, taking Sony money because that's also a bad idea, as Squaresoft told people.
Yeah. So Black Myth Wukong, Xbox delayed due to Sony exclusivity deal, not tech issues, according to source. Now, this is rumor, but there is a decent amount of evidence pointing to this being fact, including what our buddy here found when he finished the game.
I beat Black Myth Wukong last night, and I decided to watch the credits. And what's interesting is at the very end of the credits, when they start doing special thanks to different companies, they thank Biribiri, an anime company, a Chinese anime company we watch a lot of, but they also thanked Sony. Which was very odd because Sony is not a person. It's near the end. End of the credits, way near the bottom. But they suddenly thanked Sony. And I said, wait a minute. Why are you thanking Sony in your special thanks? And you know what I mean? They sat up there and they did. And I was just like, that was a weird, there it is at the top screen.
Yeah, Sony Interactive.
So that immediately hit me as a bit unusual. Now, you do see Steam and Epic Games and Wii games on there, but I am very curious of what their relationship with Sony is. And, of course, Xbox.
No Microsoft or Xbox.
No Microsoft, even though they say they are planning to put their game out on Xbox. And you see Sony's at the top of their games. Like, Sony's the first one. It's Sony, then it's Steam, then it's Epic, and then it's Wii Game. And the thing is that Xbox themselves said there is no technical issue. They were paid for exclusivity. I really hold to that. I think that Microsoft was put on a 6-month delay, and we'll know if it comes out in 6 months. That's our current theory, because usually it's 6 months. If they pull this game out exactly 6 months after the release, then they got paid. And it's a shame because the way the game is selling, I don't know. I mean, we do know Sony will pay exorbitant amounts, but given the way this game sold, I can't help but think that they left probably 1 million or more copies of this game not unsold. Now, we know Sony's crazy because we saw what they paid Marvel. It was insane. For Marvel exclusivity, they paid hundreds of millions of dollars. What'd you say, Bloodaxe?
Like 500 million, something like that.
Close to that. It was an insane amount. And then signed what I thought, what we here analyzed, all three of us are businessmen, as the worst gaming contract I've ever seen. It just is like, they have to pay reparations to Marvel.
Yeah, the Marvel contract.
Marvel got a golden ticket. It is the worst business contract I've seen for a franchise as bad.
And
as
I don't think they're gonna meet it, dude. As bad as their Marvel franchise stuff has been going with the numbers they needed,
dude. Wolverine already has so much bad press, and we haven't even seen screenshots or concept art for the other Marvel games at all.
And you should not have bad press for Wolverine. Coming off of Deadpool, Wolverine, top-rated movie, you know.
But what we saw ain't nothing like what we saw with Deadpool. And then on top of that, we know that Spider-Man 2 took forever to start even making a profit. So it's the worst contract. So they're insane. So they may have actually paid 1 million copies worth of payoff. They may have gave them $40 million or $60 million just to keep it off of Xbox for 6 months. Now, it's silly, because I'm not an Xbox. I've told you, Game Pass, though it did redeem itself a little bit recently with Atlas Fallen. We may talk about that later if we have spare time. We do like that game. But, no, I'm a PC guy. I'm PC. Like, I'm looking at stuff to have cross-play with Xbox. I can play with my boy Bloodaxe now. Because I always had a gaming PC. My gaming PC is far more expensive than my Xbox. I just dislike Sony. So out of the two, I prefer Microsoft to Sony. But Sony's going to sink themselves. We have a theory that Sony's going to sink themselves because they are putting so much money. Instead of putting money into making... Because, dude, if they did give them that much money, that's enough money to make a game. Sony pays so much in trying to screw over Microsoft that they're not making games. And there's nobody that can say they're having a good year. I've heard fanboys trying to say it's doing well. No, it's not. Because no unique Sony IP this year is doing well. It's not. And, you know, Game Pass is still out there. People are still paying. They jack the price up next month. Guess what? Nobody's canceling, probably. Most people are going to probably stay on. And on top of that, Microsoft is making money off of Sony because it's putting its games on other consoles, while Sony's busy trying to keep stuff off of consoles. And God forbid, there's theories that Microsoft may make its next console just a PC that can run Steam, and then Sony's sunk. Sony's is out of business because Sony can't pay anyone enough money to keep something off of Steam. They have repeatedly shown that the most copies of multi-platform games get sold on Steam.
Yeah, no, I mean,
like,
dude,
you kill your company if you're not on Steam.
Yeah, being on Steam, I mean, once again, Black Myth Wukong, we're talking about that. I mean, sold drastically high on Steam.
Well, look how much money Fortnite makes. Have you noticed that Epic has not been able to pay anybody to do an Epic exclusive in a while? Nobody's doing that anymore because they're probably looking at Epic and going like, man, what if we sell 20, 30 million copies like Power World? You're going to need to pay us like at least 500. You're going to want an exorbitant. When we had that theory, you'd have to pay an exorbitant price to be on Steam.
Here is the key to PC sales and Steam. When people are reporting numbers, they don't even bother to grab the numbers of sales usually.
Yeah, you're right. I don't even know what's going on Epic.
Even though most of these games, Black Myth Wukong is on Epic.
And Forbes and even financial sites use the Steam numbers to count. Steam is the place to be. So, and if Xbox goes, you can run Steam on our new box. Done. And, you know, and they can do it because everyone knows that Microsoft, well, Xbox is Microsoft and Microsoft is PC. They could very easily just go, hey, we're going to basically make a Steam box. And if they just basically made a Steam box, there you go. And Steam don't care because Steam just wants you buying their games. Steam's not a console. They've tried to be, but we know how that's working.
Yeah.
And the best Steam box they could ever make would just be an Xbox. It really would. And Xbox would be the best Steam box.
The closest thing that Steam has gotten to making to making a valid computer is basically by making where Linux is a viable gaming system again, because the Linux is the core to this the Steam box, and Linux has been lacking in games for a while, and I'll give Steam mad props of their dream of making a console for boosting Linux as an OS.
Xbox did that too. If they just said, yeah, you can run Linux. You don't know, dude. They don't seem to care. They're putting their games on the console. They might be like, whatever.
I mean, but that's sort of shooting themselves in the foot.
Depends on what they're focusing on. Because you know what? I don't think so, because people that run Linux. I'm going to be honest. Linux runners run Linux. They have ways of getting Windows stuff. I don't think Linux is going to suddenly start beating Windows. Hell no, dude. I mean, I'm a techie guy, and I looked at Linux and
I don't think Linux is ever going to start beating Windows, and I mean, honestly, Linux being out there is actually good for Windows in a business sense of of not getting a lot of government.
Like I said,
But-
I don't think that it's a big enough problem. They're not Sony. Now, Sony would pee themselves if they had, like, real competition. But if Xbox really wanted to focus on consoles, they just put out the next Xbox, and it's basically a laptop. You know, and then it's done. And they just go, oh, yeah, you can run Steam on it. And then my boy here is with us, and we're good to go, man. If they do that, then now Bloodaxe is getting access to Steam, and it's on, man. We'll go back and start rolling through those games that we didn't get to play. Because guess what? Steam does great sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I will say that would probably be that may be the thing that stops, because Microsoft does not know how to put a damn game on sale half the time, man.
Well, right now, because they just put it on Game Pass. They just put it on Game Pass eventually, though.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's even Steam can't compete with Game
There
Pass.
are old Xbox games that I can get for like $5 on Steam that are still like $60 in the Xbox store.
Trust me, we talked about it last time. The only thing they do is go back to their old games. It'll be there eventually because that's all they seem to know how to do is put old crap on. Don't get me started. Don't get distracted. Jeez, I can talk. Me and Bloodaxe, man, we did a whole hit piece on old games getting tossed on. I mean, we both prefer Game Pass to PlayStation because PlayStation's up in their price and they don't have a reason. Yeah. Like, I don't know why PlayStation would want more for their crappy like live service. I mean, Game Pass is still a better value, but God, do they love to go like, this month we're just putting old crap on, and you're like, okay, could you give me something? But hey, again, they'll surprise you with an Atlas Fallen. It's a fun little game. It is worth playing for about a month. It's a good hold off game to keep you busy, and it's co-op, which is shocking. And the co-op works, which is shocking. The co-op works well. You get to pick if you want to progress your story. Remember that? That's cool. You can either keep just the items you earn, or you can progress your story if you went through story progress in case you want to go back to your game. That's why we were talking earlier about it, and I was going like, oh, dude, you ran off without me because, see, if I'd have been with them, I wouldn't have to play through that again if I don't want to. If I did want to play through, like I don't like his decisions, I could not.
With you anyway, though, and I kept going into yours, and I was backtracking, several chapters, and then we finally got you caught up with me, and I didn't see you for 48 hours. So yeah, I'm going to move on ahead. But the fact that he can jump in my game, grab gear, and save and go to his game, and then continue where his current progress is. It's pretty cool. And I will say that from a platformer perspective, it's very, very forgiving. It's not, if you're a pixel off, you're going to fall to your death like some games are. Borderlands 3. So it is more fun to play and be able to tinker and try to get places where you should not be going at this part of the game. So
it also has Xeno's wet dream. It has completely, you can literally go that way, and I can go this way. And we share the Monster Kill XP. We both get a copy of everything. He was completing quests in my game. And at one point, we realized that for farming Essence, the kind of the closest thing to XP they have, that the smartest thing to do was for us to separate because we were sharing it. So he's farming over here, I'm farming over here, and we were like, man, we were earning huge amount. He would literally go on the screen and be like, holy crap, dude, I just got like 8,000 Essence in a few minutes, but it's because we separate. But it even keeps the quest. At one point, we were shortening quests by me being at the turn-in spot and him going out and doing it, and then I immediately turning in, or vice versa. It has the best co-op freedom I may have ever seen in a game since old school games. And see, Xeno likes to do his own thing, so that's really awesome because Xeno likes to wander off.
Doesn't seem like it's a very long game.
Oh, no, it's super short. That's why we said it's a fun little game to play for about a month.
It says 25 hours to complete, but no. Of course, I'm a completionist. I've been doing everything, but even with the new area that I'm in right now, which is the fourth of the five maps, no, I think 10 hours is undershooting it significantly.
No, I'd say it's probably closer to, well, no, you could shotgun through the story if you wanted. And if you go for just what you need, you could shotgun through it.
So it's saying leisurely completionist is 30 hours. Average is 25, like median. Yeah. But
I mean, we're fooling around, so we're over that or going to be over that. But yeah, I mean, no, I do believe the main story is 10 hours. Because, dude,
Yeah,
I mean, when you look at what we had to do to get to the second area, we could have did that. If you, with your level, we could have shot through that in probably an hour or less. Because when I think about it, it was like, go here, talk to this person, do this, done. It was super quick. In the second area, we're already being told to go to the third area, and we did one thing. We went to like one sunken city. So, no, I believe you could shoot through it.
Well, the sunken city is really the Bastingar is the hub for all the different maps. So when you go back to Bastingar, then you go to the sunken city, you go back to Basbury, then you go to the Wildlands. And so the fifth map, I don't know how you get to it, but I'm pretty sure it's from Bastingar as well. Bastingar appears to be the hub.
Gotcha. But I mean, it isn't. We're not saying that this is huge. We're saying that it's a fun little time waster if you want to play co-op. As a co-op game, there's no complaints with the mechanics. Like, I want to see so many more games do this. Don't get me wrong, Remnant 2 kind of does that. Remnant 2, you can't go to different areas of the map, really. You got to be on the same map, but I do like that he can run and go grab an item. I can grab, we on Nayrud, we do this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're like gone.
Because this is just a big open map. So.
I hope that third
it is. And what's beautiful about it is you don't have to have the one Uber build. We went completely different builds, and they work distinctly well for both of us. So you have a lot more flexibility with customizing how you want your character to play.
Oh, the SS stones are very varied. There's a lot, and that's where the time wasting comes in, is trying different builds. Like
I have like 70 of those stones right now, which is ridiculous.
And Bloodaxe will tell you, just when he was playing with me, I changed so many times. I show up and now fire is shooting off or missiles are firing out my back, and he's just like, I'm just going through.
Well, and the game's been out for a year, so they shouldn't be messing with your builds or anything.
Yeah, that's true. But it at least is co-op, and I only bring it up because it showed me one thing, though. Playing that made me look at Remnant 2 again and go like, oh my God, if they ever do an open world Remnant 2, that would just be, Remnant 2 needs open world maps. They need to let you go to those maps and you can just, like, you just go to a big map of that, the different worlds.
I mean, it's a semi-open world as it is.
Bigger. Because Nayrud's everyone's favorite Nayrud because it feels open.
Yeah.
The thing about Remnant 2 is when you get multiplayers in, everything scales up and you have to stick together. At least with this one, we can go opposite directions and still be able to hold our own.
Hey, there's nothing funnier than Xeno running to try to get me up and everything's dead, but I'm on the ground because I'm playing like poison glass cannon guy who just poisons everything and then gets knocked the heck out. And he's like, because he'll show up, just be like, gets me up. It's like, where's everything? I'll be like, oh no, I killed everything with status effects. And what happened to you? I got hit once. But we're also playing on like nightmare difficulty. And I'm just glad I could get him to do it because he didn't really want to at first, but then he realized his build's really tanky. Because let me show you what somebody who isn't, because he was like, man, nightmare, you go down fast. I'm like, let me show you what it really looks like. And it's just like, and he's just like, crap. And I'm like, dude, I'm wearing maxed out armor. My armor's this.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just the dude that's like covered in metal plates, like just cucking around. I'll get you up. Now kill.
You know, and he literally like said, let me put some more of these dragon hearts on because I'm going to need them for you. And I'm like, yeah, but everything's dead.
Yeah. Oh, no. He is my weapon. I don't need a weapon.
literally, we went into boss fights and I've triggered so much stuff and I just go, don't die. And he's running. The health is just melting and he's running around with his turret like, and then if he lives, then he gets me up. He's like, all right, you can get up now. I even told him, said, don't pick me up during a boss fight if it's at half health. Just live. Don't worry. If it's at half health, it's going to die if I put my stuff on it. So, but Atlas Fallen is a fun co-op game, and it makes me want to see more open world co-op because we just don't get this outside of MMOs. And I will say this, it plays better than Final Fantasy, whatever the MMO one is. It plays better than, like I'm saying, it doesn't play like an MMO. I think that's the other part because Bloodaxe isn't like MMOs. He doesn't do them at all, and I don't really do them. It doesn't play like that. It plays like a proper game.
Maybe somebody should put out like a mission to make more games like that since it was so much fun.
Well, the mechanics. Yeah, I want to play more games that's co-op, open world, but my character moves and reacts and plays well. Because when you play an MMO, man, it's so much point and click nonsense.
I'd donate to putting a mission out for something like that.
Just like indie games, man. Get us more. Because here's the thing. It had a 66. It wasn't rated high. But you go play it. Because remember Army of Two? Oh, me and my friends all remember Army of Two fondly. Was it a great game? No. Was it a fun game?
It was fun to play with your buddy, though. You know.
Arrogant
Instead, though, we get missions like
good segue.
This.
Oh, go ahead, Bloodaxe.
Oh.
Well, I'm just saying, so was Atlas Fallen, because I was playing, I'm like, yeah, this is okay, I guess. But when Q joined in, I'm like, okay, we can go. We're going to places we shouldn't even be going.
I'm crazy.
Yeah.
No, and I was on hard. I started on hard, and he was just like, dude, you start on hard. I was like, well, Nightmare doesn't unlock until you beat the game.
All right, I tried so hard for that segue.
But what you don't want is missions like.
So recently, Dustborn developers
it's time.
condemned tidal wave of hate and abuse directed at the team for a game that is literally paid propaganda, and you're surprised there's hate towards the team.
It literally is a funding. There is a secret U.S. and some other countries' policies that were put out. This is very disturbing, where they pay you to make games that are designed to propagandize you, that are designed to. They say it's to fight disinformation, but amongst the things that they want in a game is that you literally have the things that are against anti-vaxxers, against basically any right-leaning politics. It's just very, very creepy that the government is paying for propaganda. And it's not just U.S. I think it's Norwegian. I think there's a European policy, but they got money to put out propaganda. You think it's not propaganda, go watch someone play it. Mm-hmm. It quite literally teaches you how to normalize things that aren't normally normal to people. This is a real term in a game. It's a power you get. It teaches you to bully, where it says you force people to do things they're not comfortable with. It's the power the main character gets. She's a monster, by the way, because she uses bully and normalize on her friends. It actually has cancel, where it says you isolate, and it is literally described. It's very horrifying, guys. You cut people off from their friends and family to make them feel alone. It's a very twisted propaganda machine that is trying to teach you how to be an activist, but in a negative way. I mean, bully, normalize, canceling someone. These are all just like terms for behavior that is inappropriate. You shouldn't bully anybody into doing something they're not comfortable with. You shouldn't normalize things to someone or try to forcefully normalize someone that doesn't feel normal, because that's really just another form of bullying, and it's creepy. It's basically, this game does not believe in consent, because most of your abilities are to rob a person of their consent. I watched gameplay where they literally were playing with people's heads to make them think that something was happening and it wasn't true. It's very disturbing. And to think that the government and the embassies were paying people to put out propaganda, like, why would you pay a game to try to attack the vaccine topic? This is a political topic that is 50-50. Me, I'm in the middle. I mean, I've seen a lot of problems with it on both ends. I do have a strong opinion on that, but I'm not going to share it. But the thing is, I'm not going to share it. I definitely wouldn't put it in a video game. You want to know why? Because I don't want to propagate. I don't want you to be influenced by my opinions on it. But here, they're trying to force it. And they're attacking the police violently at every moment. It's you basically fight almost exclusively police officers. It's messed up. I mean, there's actual comments on there. I don't know if this article is opinionated. That place has its own leanings, but I can verify that I saw the document, and the vaccine thing is in the document for what the government will pay you to put into this game. The vaccine and disinformation is specifically mentioned word for word. So it's political propaganda. That's why it came out. Nobody wanted the game, but it got $250,000 from the government, which is your money. And
$250,000 from the U.S. and other.
Oh, yeah, and more from others.
Yeah.
So it might have got up to $500,000 in government-funded propaganda.
this claims nearly 1.4 million USD, in addition to 150,000 euros.
Wow, the Norwegian Film Institute is the one that said it did that. So the Norwegian Film Institute paid the majority of this game. They only got $250,000 from the U.S.
Yeah,
so that's wild. So, we were wondering if this is got something to do with Sweet Baby Inc. Are they a part of this where they're going in and they're doing this to get this money? This is the money that's being hunted.
The fact that the U.S. government and other governments are funding this type of propaganda into digital games greatly makes things questionable when we continuously see these games like the DEI company Sweet Baby Inc. get manipulated to contain certain criteria, politics, and so forth. So if we know that the U.S. government is funding it, how much of these others are being funded? Now, don't even get started.
The Film Institute went up to 1.4 million.
When you start bringing in a lot of the conspiracy talk, and I'm talking a lot of conspiracy talk right now with the DEI stuff, but also BlackRock funding and all of this stuff. How much of this is also followed up by the government, and we're funding politics into games
to manipulate the people?
Yeah, and we already have a political system right now that is highly contested and thought to be controversial. Yeah, controversial, and thought to be funding certain agendas and so forth. But now we're seeing this in games, and pretty much got proof now that these.
Oh, that's verified. Well, and here's the problem, because he's not conspiracy theory. Our conspiracy theory, the escalation is, well, if they're providing benefits, are they providing penalties if you don't? Are there secret penalties? Are they charging or taxing?
Yeah, that's more where a lot of your funding comes in with BlackRock. You get penalties and stuff. So it brings a lot of questions. And honestly, this is. We've got another week when we get into TV. About this stuff. Why are we forcing this stuff into games? Why? I don't know, man. It annoys me. I just want games to be fun again, and there's so many
the
games
cloak and dagger part of it that bothers me. I say, like I said about Concord and other stuff. Look, man, make your game. In fact, I personally support the creation of Concord. They did not steal another IP. They did not ruin something else. They made an OG material for the crowd. Now, it failed. And do I laugh? Yes, I will laugh. But I laugh just because there's a stupidity in literally going, what's the least amount of people we can target our audience? And it fails. But the making of it's fine. Everybody should be allowed to have their say. And that's why this bothers me, because that's not what Dustborn is saying. No. Teach people to not be allowed to have their say. Bully them. Cancel them. Like, people complained about the game Bully when it came out, but it doesn't do any of this crap. Like, this is literally them telling you, because there's a part where somebody's expressing themselves in the game, and you bully them to get them to be quiet so they can't express their opinion. It is disturbing, and for the government to be a part of that, it is the opposite of that. It's saying we are sliding into the conspiracy tinfoil hat territory of we're kind of facing a fascist government that's trying to shut people up and bully and threaten people into not having an opinion so that they can have 100% control. Because if the government's influencing these games, then guess what? Dustsport isn't a game that's about freedom. It isn't a game that's about expressing yourself. It's government funded. And they listed what they wanted in the game. That's not freedom. That is literally the government. That is that dystopia. That's dystopia. That's them trying to tell you what to do and how to think. And just because you think it sounds good what they're saying doesn't change what's happening, because that's today. Because right now, that's what they think they need. But guess what? When that opinion changes and the government goes, actually, it would be better if we didn't have any of these people or people doing this, then guess what? It turns on you. That's what the rest of us are afraid of. We're not afraid of whatever agendas that are out there now. I'm not. As long as you keep, you live your life and I can live mine. I'm worried about letting somebody have 100% control, and then tomorrow they decide that black people aren't very useful, or this group's not that useful. I'm thinking of the future whenever you decide to no longer let people voice their opinion. I don't trust anybody that much. I don't trust any one entity. So this is disturbing to me. And it's a bit alarming because it shows that something weird is going on, and it goes all the way up to the government.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I also find it weird. I also find it weird. Here they're talking about, we got hate on this game. People speaking hate. People not liking us because, and it's like, yeah, that's going to happen. Look. You didn't complain when people were putting out articles dissing Black Myth Wukong because they didn't bend to the DEI, and pay for consultants to change the content of their game. But people not liking the content of your game, that's a problem,
Even though their game has literal bullying as a mechanic.
And then it's like, we want, it says, we expected Dustborn to spark conversation and debate and look forward to engaging with our players in a positive and constructive fashion. Unfortunately, the conversation has been drowned out by a tidal wave of hate and abuse. For one, I question what you consider hate and abuse. I mean, because, and this is just because past experience, somebody who has a different opinion seems to be hate and abuse to a lot of people.
Dude, we've covered that somebody put out, said, I'll pay $5,000 to kill Asmongold or whatever. This is how crazy these people are. And then they turn around and go, we're having hate and abuse and death threats. I'm like, no, you're making death threats. You put a price out on someone. Yeah.
Also, let's be honest. If you really want a conversation, you got to allow the negative discourse, the hate and abuse. You just got to respond to it in a proper way, and basically turn it around on them.
Especially when you pick an extreme.
You don't block it. You don't remove it. Yeah. You respond cordially to them and make them look like a fucking idiot.
Because the biggest thing here, but the reason they're doing this is because you can't defend we cancel and normalize people as a game mechanic, because and bully. That's just really, man. The bullying one really threw people off when they're just like, and first person you do it to is your friend to do something illegal. You force them to do something illegal. You're like, and immoral. And you're just like, ugh, that's untasteful. And that's the kind of stuff they're not answering. They have not answered any one question in the morality of that. They just go, hate speech. It's like, no, it isn't. They're asking a very reasonable question. You force someone that's supposed to be your friend to do something they weren't comfortable with, which, given the most recent thing we did when we tried to stomp that out with Me Too, we were trying to stop this kind of horrible behavior. Why would you put it in your game as a normal mechanic? Yeah. Oh, but you're making them do stuff that they should be doing. Yeah, that's what friggin' Weinstein thought too.
Oh, wow.
You're like, well, I mean, you want to be famous, right?
Yeah.
You can't get famous without breaking a few eggs or polishing a few eggs.
So speaking of famous, let's move on to our last topic. Or no, we got 2 topics left.
I thought we were going to talk about the.
Which
one? Is there another Star Wars Outlaw one? Something else with them?
Was there? No. There wasn't. I don't have anything else with them.
Star Wars Outlaws. You mean that broken game that when you go to take somebody down, it drags you halfway across the map?
God, yeah. No, there was something about canceling, but don't worry about it. It was something about people complaining.
There is Star Wars news, though. I mean,
people complaining.
Amanda Steinberg confirms the Acolyte is canceled and proceeds to blame a rampage of hyper-conservative bigotry and vitriol. Oh, man, this sounds familiar. We just talked about this.
Yeah, she can't believe that people aren't being nice when their discourse toward her. F your discourse, F your discourse.
Yeah, it was just one of those things I got because it was the amusement of somebody going, man, people are really diverse and hateful, and we should all get along, and fuck you for having a different opinion than me.
F your discourse literally being the line as you do the weirdest dance I've ever seen.
So
looks kind of like something you'd see on a actual spoof or insulting video.
So do you think this is actually canceled? I know there's been rumors.
A circle around it.
There's been some weird rumors about the Acolyte maybe not being really canceled. That it's going to be
Bloodaxe, did you hear about that? That there's rumors that Disney is just trying to get as much media attention, and they're gonna go ahead and redo and do a season 2. I hope so. I want Disney to go out of business fast as possible.
Yeah, and the last time I checked, I think the petition to bring it back has lower signatures versus the petition to decanonize it from Star Wars. But yeah, I've heard several things where they're trying to drum up, public interest or discourse in order to try to convince them to bring it back the way they eventually brought back the Clone Wars for season 7. But and apparently I didn't realize this, but all three of us are bigots and alt-right trolls, according to Mandela Stenberg, because we're critical of the Acolyte. So welcome to the alt-right troll team, boys. So I've already got your seats saved. So
the new Acolyte petition has made it over 40,000 signatures.
40,000? Go look up what you accidentally typed in first through a new bring back Splash Mountain. I bet you it has more.
Bring back Splash Mountain.
It came up before Acolyte. When you typed in petition to bring back, Splash Mountain came up first, not Acolyte.
Bring back Splash Mountain.
That is the petition that yeah, look at that. 94,000.
Back in 2022, it already had over 94,000.
What's it at now? Can you see the chat?
I don't know.
So to give you an idea, they have less than half of the Bring Back Splash Mountain to Disney. A ride at a theme park has more than double the signatures of Acolyte. Now, there's some claims that might have hit 50,000. I saw 40 and 50. But still, it doesn't even have as much as Bring. And how many people give a crap about Splash Mountain?
I made it up to 100,000 before people quit caring about Splash Mountain.
So there you go. So 100,000 for Splash Mountain to be brought back. It's a freaking log ride at Disney. You know how specific that is compared to a Star Wars TV show? So no. But also, they be idiots because then no one's going to watch it. They can pretend they did it. It isn't going to change. Those people signing it didn't watch it. There's probably more petitions to bring it back than people who watched the last episode. I'm obviously exaggerating, but I mean, that show had the lowest viewership of any Star Wars show ever. You'd have to be an idiot, which means Disney will probably do it because they're idiots. And I don't mind name calling Disney because they're doing stupid stuff. They put out the worst Star Wars show, period. It's hard to beat that. And what's worse is I think the second worst Star Wars show is still them. I think Star Wars Christmas beats most Star Wars shows on, viewership. That's how, bad it is.
Help decanonize the Acolyte is only 5,000
Because most people don't care. And they know they won't do it. Yeah, I wouldn't sign a petition to decanonize. They're not going to do it.
Renew the Acolyte.
See, that ain't going to have a lot either. No. I mean, hey, dude. The modern audience has always been mystically able to generate a lot of clicks and tweets, just not money and views, which really to me just says that the modern audience is bots. It has to be. What, am I crazy? It has to be. Because, yeah, if you go put out an article that says they shouldn't have canceled Acolyte on Twitter, you'll get 10,000 likes. And then if you go, well, let's re-air it then. And you won't get that many views on a YouTube video. You won't, there's a big divide in how many people. It's like Dylan Mulvaney. And I know that sounds questionable, but no, I'm talking about, I'm not going to get into their personal life or anything. But Dylan Mulvaney is huge. Millions of followers, from what I understand. Went to go do a comedy show. Couldn't even fill one row. Where it's like there's this huge divide between the amount of voices, I'm getting off camera, voices for stuff versus physical people and customers.
I think some of it's know your audience, man. It's know your audience. Just like Star Wars has a built-in audience, had a built-in audience. They've lost a lot of it. They didn't know they didn't care about their audience when they did Star Wars. Same thing with Da Vinci. He's on social media, YouTube. He's not going to sell out. Because people that watch him aren't the people that go to comedy shows.
Yeah, yeah, you're very right. It's the clicks are free, and clicks can be faked.
Yeah.
But real money, it can't be faked. That's just the truth. It really can't be faked. I mean, look at the people who have supported him and had him on their products. They didn't sell any because they don't spend money. Because bots don't spend money. Or, like you say, click warriors. Whereas the people who are like,
it's just
buy.
People that go to comedy shows, let's be honest, people that go to comedy shows tend to be more open-minded.
True.
Because if you go to a comedy show, I've seen the couple of times somebody who had their, feelings hurt at a comedy show, and they got tore the fuck up because that's just bait for a comedian.
He's like, I'm about to get you.
That's the type of people that go to comedy shows. People that want to be heckled go to comedy shows. Yeah.
And they have disposable income.
Yeah. People that watch him want somebody.
I said that for Bloodaxe, so I smile when I said that.
Yeah. People that watch. And sorry if I'm messing up pronouns or something. I'm not actually sure about what your the person you're talking about. But
she. Dylan Mulvaney identifies as a she.
So, go. I try to be respectful if I can.
Hey, my statement was accurate.
I don't care.
They identify as a she.
But here's my thing. The people that watch her want somebody to support their ideals. That's their crowd. That's not the crowd that goes to a comedy show.
Or buys things.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about it, but yeah.
But the Alkalite, but the main thing about Alkalite, while we brought it up, getting back on point, was that the hypocrisy of, well, it was two, because there's a big one we want to talk about too. The second one is that stop blaming the people who aren't your audience for your product failing. That is, we can say this because this isn't political. That's dumb as fuck. That's stupid. People who aren't your audience aren't going to buy it. You can't blame straight men or even white men or whatever group you want to blame for your product not selling if they're not your target. That's dumb. Of course they didn't buy it. You literally didn't make it for them.
Half the time you even say,
don't watch
our stuff.
Yeah, we know a particular Doctor Who that decided to tell everybody to touch grass, and they said, okay. And the grass got more views. And it's like, you can't do that. That's dumb. If you're a burger joint, you can't blame vegans for not buying your meat burgers. That's dumb. You blame your audience, your actual audience. You go, hey guys, you didn't come support me. I was having this talk with my girlfriend, and I even said, hey, Black Panther, man, was a success. We went to go see our movie. No, I'm saying we went to go see our movie. So, and if it didn't succeed, you don't blame white people. You blame us. You black people. You didn't come see our movie. We went to go see our movie. Mm-hmm. And so did white people. Because you don't know why? Because we took them and said, hey, man, come check out the movie. And they were like, okay. Because we were like, we need to make this work. There ain't quite enough of us.
There was those few groups out there that tried to go, oh, white people need to stay away from the theater. Well,
yeah, and we shouted them down. And like, don't listen to them idiots. Yeah. Because we wanted it to be a big success, and you cannot ignore the largest side of your audience if you want your movie to get on that chart. But when you look at the Acolyte was referred to in an interview, as AB said, as the gayest Star Wars ever. The Acolyte was referred to by Mandela as being designed, well, okay, she was talking about other stuff, but it was implied heavily that it was designed to, quote, piss white people off. It was designed to be a female-centric and almost exclusive narrative meant to pull female fans. Okay. Well, you just listed the smallest percentage of Star Wars and just sci-fi fans on the planet. And I didn't even get into orientation. Just saying, no men, no white men. Oh, go ahead, man.
That quote of making white people uncomfortable wasn't even about Star Wars. It was about another movie that she had done. And a lot of the other social media groups had kind of grabbed that and attributed that to the Acolyte. So that wasn't even part of the Acolyte's interview process. That was just kind of give you a taste of what kind of person she was.
That's what I said. It's implied. I stopped myself and said it's implied.
Yeah.
That was one of the amusing things about her comment, once again, about people, about the divide and people hating. It's like, you did it even before Star Wars, So.
Yeah. Right. And I'm going to take a different approach. I actually hope it does come back. I really do. Because that show has given us more content than any Star Wars show this year.
At a cost. Oh, no. The funny thing is all the YouTubers are saying, bring it back. Because it has two big things. Right. Disney will lose their shirt on it, and I get to watch Heels versus Babyface go crazy again.
And we get clicks.
Well, talking about more Star Wars content, we also had an article about Sigourney Weaver confirms her role in upcoming Mandalorian movie.
But there'll be guns in a Mandalorian movie.
They're laser
blasters.
blasters.
Give her what she did to Aliens 3.
They're blasters though, so that's different.
Oh, it's okay because they're blasters.
Yeah, it's different.
Now this has sparked a rumor.
Oh yeah, because I don't like your opinion on this.
Yeah. I don't think it's true. I don't think that. So those of you that haven't heard this, one of the common rumors is that she's supposed to be cast to replace Cara Dune, which I think is completely and totally out of place. I would be shocked if that actually is what would happen. Now, if they wanted to make her as because there was even in Mandalorian season 1, there was the discussion whether or not Cara Dune was a clone or not. Now, if she was like the Boba Fett, the Jango Fett to Boba Fett, where it was the original source of the DNA, that's one thing. But I think what Disney's doing is they're casting a strong female actress into Star Wars to try to get back some of the things they've lost when they fired Gina Carano from The Mandalorian season 2, which it's just a smart move. And a lot of times we've referenced Sigourney Weaver and some of the characters that she's played as, the fact that it's easy to cast a strong female lead organically and not have it force-fed down our throats the way they did Daisy Ridley in the Rise of Skywalker. So I think it's probably a good move. But if they recast Cara Dune with Sigourney Weaver, then it's going to be a shit show, in my opinion.
And that's where, me and Zeno, because he decided he wanted to be a Disney hero here.
Not being a Disney hero.
And I said the fact that
I'm just saying you're jumping to conclusions.
The thing that helps me support the Cara Dune replacement is that I said the comment that she's being extremely tight-lipped about a character, and Disney is not known for that. Disney is very much telling you who's playing what they're playing, giving you half of the dang backstory ahead of time. And I said, well, what would make her have to be this tight-lipped all of a sudden? And I was like, well, if she's playing Cara Dune, Disney would not want to say that ahead of time. They would want to hide that until the last minute to protect it. And you disagree because you're wrong.
Well, no, because they hide characters all the time.
No, they don't.
Nothing new.
When?
Yes.
When? Who they hide?
Dude, they hide a lot of... most characters are not blatantly put up there at the beginning. Now,
but it's a big celebrity.
Yeah.
We knew who Trinity was playing. I need to learn that lady's name at some point. We knew who Trinity was playing an Acolyte. Heck, we knew who everybody's playing an Acolyte before then. We knew that that lady's
my thing is, I don't know. I don't know how far out the Mandalorian movie is, but it could revealing certain characters early can spoil movies.
That's dude, it's Disney. Don't have a plot.
They kept Mark Hamill quiet for Mandalorian season 2.
What did you say? Did you disagree with me?
They kept Mark Hamill quiet for Mandalorian season 2. They kept a lot of people quiet for the Deadpool movie.
I was about to say, look how many people they kept quiet for the
Deadpool. That was Ryan Reynolds because he's smart and they're dumb.
Oh.
And they kept Mark Hamill quiet because he is the literal
All I'm
Major
saying is it
plot
makes sense if you want to have certain characters in a movie to keep it quiet as long as you possibly can. That way,
put out Red
somebody
Hulk
can
toys
be.
at
That was an
Mexican
accident.
McDonald's.
That was an
Well,
accident.
then they showed it in the last trailer, though. They showed it.
Well,
We
'cause
knew
it was already out
And we
then.
knew that General Ross is in the movie, and he's Red Hulk, so everybody... Oh, what ain't spoilers? They
And anyway, you're going to put it out eventually. It's not like she's going to be hidden all the way to the end. If somebody wants to find out who she is, it will be in IMDb, before the movie's out.
I mean, I hope she's not going to be Cara Dune for Bloodaxe, because he likes Star Wars. My evil side hopes she will be Cara Dune, just because I love the stupidity of Disney, and it's just funny to see how dumb can they get. You know what I mean? Just how dumb can they get?
I've already checked out this movie. I'm not even remotely interested in anything Disney makes right now, Star Wars related. So they can sink the ship. I don't care what they do with it. I have absolutely zero interest in Disney Star Wars anymore.
I got a new petition. The Mandalorian, they should replace Pedro Pascal with Robert Downey Jr. Let's just do that too. Let's have him save everything. Take off the helmet, it's just Robert Downey Jr. under there again. We got a good warm-up for being a helmeted Dr. Doom. Let's just have Robert Downey Jr. Oh, go ahead, man.
But no, I mean, the past couple of years as a Star Wars fan has been absolutely a dumpster fire. And so do what you want. I'm just waiting for the day that either Kathleen Kennedy gets booted and they decanonized all the Disney crap, or Disney sells it to somebody that actually gives a shit about Star Wars again.
Disney doesn't sell anything. Disney would rather
they'll lock it in their vault.
Yeah, they'll lock it in the vault and burn the vault down.
They might not have a choice, especially when that Hulu tab comes through. They might be selling off things you wouldn't expect.
Now, if Hulu demands it, if like the people that are debtors demand it, but BlackRock won't let that happen. BlackRock will sell his. Oh, I'm about to say something really ugly. BlackRock will do whatever it takes to keep. Oh, I'm about to say something messed up. You have no idea.
All right. Well,
we were never going to be canceled.
Before we get canceled, let's go ahead and wrap up the show, guys. Any last comments, Blood, before we move on?
Yeah. Hope everyone has a wonderful holiday tomorrow. I know that me and Q will probably be playing some Xbox, and I may even start streaming some of the games we're playing. I did for a little while and I stopped, but I may start streaming some more. So if y'all want to check us out on Twitch, make sure to subscribe over there as well, because we don't do much of anything other than gaming videos on Twitch anymore.
All right. And with that, we're going to wrap it up, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Dicejunkies.com. You can find links to everywhere we are online: Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. YouTube. Well, that was the whole like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell thing was the YouTube. But I got it out of order. And, that happens. It happens for the best of us.
You Ubisoft it.
Maybe I Ubisoft it. But you know what? No matter what happens there, we
hope you enjoy.